Y'all, this Jay-Z and Beyonce situation is getting crazier by the day. And y'all better come on in the room and get your fresh bra because 50 Cent is out again, giving his 2 cents about the situation. And it looks like we've had a situation backwards now. Y'all know how people have been coming for it. Jay-Z and accusing him of being a manipulator who has been allegedly forcing Beyonce into doing some pretty bad stuff right well by Sin is coming out to reveal just how wrong we were about all this, saying that not only is Beyonce as bad as Jay-Z, but she's even worse, and he gave some shocking examples of her alleged activities. But he didn't stop there because he also revealed how Beyonce is trying to make Jay-Z take the fall for their messy actions by divorcing him, setting him up for failure, and then throwing him under the bus. Cause listen, there's a whole lot we need to unpack here because 50 Cent is spilling some crazy tea. Woo. Is this why Jay-Z has been desperately professing his love for Beyonce these past couple of weeks? Okay, so y'all might need to sit down for this because the drama is here. There's a lot of insane things going in on Hollywood right now, but specifically between Jay-Z's and Beyonce, in case y'all have somehow been out of the loop with the drama that's been going on between Hollywood's biggest power couple. There have been some reports from insiders that Beyonce is strongly considering divorcing Jay-Z, just packing it all up. No. Yeah, the drama has been going on for a minute now. And for a while, people kind of assumed that the reason Beyonce was leaving Jay-Z was that she was tired of him using and manipulating her. Well, see, there have been reports for a very long time about how Jay-Z is not exactly a stand-up guy and he's involved in a lot of questionable and shady activity. Behind the scenes now, I'm not going to go into all the deep details about the things Jay-Z's been accused of because I'm sure y'all saw the videos that I've made before. If not, go check them out there. So a lot of allegations and rumors, but for a long time people have kind of assumed that Beyonce is another one of his victims, especially because she has a squeaky clean image in the eyes of the public, and because she was so young when they got together. Beyonce spilled the tea in interviews, saying, "I was 18 when we first met, 19 when we started dating. There was no rush. No one expected me to run off and get married." Then they officially started dating when Beyonce was 19 and Jay-Z was a whole 31. It's a substantial age gap that half fans buzzing and some even tossed around some speculations. But it's even worse than that, because in 2007 Charlie Rose did an interview with jayz and he said he had met Beaton years ago, or in 1997 if they met in 1997, and Beyonce was then only 16 when they met. In fact, depending on when they met, she could have been 15 for all we know. The thought of Jay-Z, who was in his late 20s, or 27 or 20-year-old Beyonce, was very, very shady to say the very least, and as a result of this, people often see Beyonce as a victim, and she is often left out of a narrative whenever Jay-Z is getting dragged for his not-so-nice activities, even when the couple is getting dragged for allegedly blackballing the careers of people in the industry. People focus more on Jay-Z's part and how he is using his powers to influence and to blackball other artists. But Beyonce is left out of the conversation because she's the media's darling. Well, 50 Cent is trying to clear that his narrative, allegedly because he is starting to share his insider knowledge to the world. And well, let's just say that he doesn't exactly have a whole lot of nice things to say about Beyonce now. When the news was broken by blogger Storm Monroe a couple of months ago, everybody was on Beyonce's side, talking about how great it was that she was leaving him for good.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time. So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed. And it's only so much of these stories that Jay-Z can, he can pay off or he can block. He won't be able to stop this. And she knows it and he knows it too. As far as who's gonna be the breakout victim / story, I don't know. Yeah, I might have to ask Jason Lee. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that once that comes out and Jay-Z is exposed for his nefarious past, you're gonna see Beyonce divorce him. Okay, and she may or may not do an interview, but you gonna their publicist is gonna release something. She's gonna say, oh, the Carters have been separated for some time. They built this beautiful life, blah 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 blah.
The thought of Beyonce leaving Jay was a hit among fans, especially because Storm said that Jay-Z was about to get exposed. And I'm not talking about some petty exposure like him ruining careers or blacklisting people. No, I'm talking about something major like some Diddy level exposure for some insane stuff that he may have done in the past. The interesting thing here is that Storm was not the first one to tell us that Jay-Z was going to be exposed for some bad things he might have did, because after Cassie's explosive lawsuit that exposed Jay-Z's best friend Diddy of some truly horrific things, Jaguar Wright came out to tell us that Jay-Z was the next in line to be exposed. Jaguar also claimed that the reason Jay's was not getting exposed was that he was smarter and more careful than Diddy was.
Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
This pussy been lining up people he calls friends and stepping to the side while they get hit by the guillotine for 30 fucking years.
But like they say, birds of a feather flock together, and I guess that's the story here, because the streets are saying that Jay-Z was really as bad as Diddy was, and considering the things that Diddy has been accused of, let's just say that people were glad we found out that Beyonce might be considering divorce. But apart from this whole thing about the age gap between Beyonce and Jay, there's also the fact that he has cheated on her multiple times in the past. And now I'm not just talking about Lemonade and Becky with the good hair, I'm referring to the fact that he's been cheating on her since they started dating. According to reports, Jay-Z started cheating on Beyonce only a few months after they started their relationship, and one of their first women that he with was rapper Charlie Baltimore. Now, if you've been keeping up with the drama, then you probably heard the rumors of Charlie and Jay-Z having an affair behind Beyonce's back. But for those of y'all who don't follow the drama, Charlie used to be in a relationship with Notorious B.I.G., aka Big E Smalls, back in the day. And reports happened that somewhere along the line, Charlie got sick and tired of being the other woman, while Jay paraded his relationship with Beyonce. So Charlie ended the affair with Jay-Z, but Jay-Z didn't take it. Well, at all allegedly, he got so jealous that Charlie moved in with another man, and apparently he was so jealous that he risked going to jail. I'll remember when Jay-Z was arrested for stabbing a man in a club. LJZ allegedly stabbed the producer, and he claimed that the producer had been illegally distributing bootleg copies of his then unreleased album Volume 3 Life and Times of C. Carter. They ran into each other at a club, and Jay-Z pulled an 8-inch knife and knifed this other man, but inside. Sources, especially 50 Cent, are now calling BS on this story, claiming that the real reason for the stabbing was that Jay found out that Charlie had started dating the producer, and he got jealous, now getting made at your former side passes for moving on when you're literally dating the Beyonce is actually insane, and 50 Cent wasn't capping because rapper Cameron backed it up and confirmed that stabbing was But speaking of its sin, he is now coming out to speak about the current situation of the divorce. And well, let's just say he's not exactly Team Beyonce because he believes that Beyonce is the villain, that everybody seems to think Jay-Z. Now, for those of you who don't know, 50 Cent has had a beef with Jay-Z and Beyonce for a long time. Actually, the beef started between Jay-Z and 50 Cent, and then Beyonce got roped into it because she was defending her man. Now we've got to give y'all the backstory about his whole drama, cause it's kind of funny and petty, which isn't surprising because we know that 50 Cent is the king of being petty when it comes to these Hollywood cases, because y'all know that 50 is going to troll anybody at any time. Anybody can get it if he feels like they should. The bad blood between Jay-Z and 50 Cent started when a 50 Cent diss came out to Jay-Z in his 1999 song. How to Rob. People have always said that he did it for a clout. I mean, Jay-Z was already a popping artist back then, and 50 Cent was just trying to come out. In fact, it was 50 Cent's first major song, and it made a lot of waves. But to be fair, Jay-Z was not the only artist he dissed on that track, because 50 Cent also dissed and trolled many other top artists including Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, Diddy, Missy Elliott, Will Smith, and more top artists of the era. He was clearly trying to get attention.